Hey, Abby.
Yeah?
Would you like to join me on an epic adventure?
Of course. Where are we going?
To Middle Earth, of course, and even places beyond.
I love Middle Earth. I've heard it's gorgeous this time of year. And, maybe if I bump into Aragorn, that wouldn't be too terrible.
Not terrible at all. It's really great. Well, that's if Morgoth is playing nice, and maybe we can visit the Teleri and the Noldor, see what kind of crazy things they're up to, and we can meet Fëanor and maybe Maedhros and Thingolfin.
Who's that now?
And there's giant spiders. Make sure you stay out of the Valley of Dreadful Death.
Hold
that
on,
is not a place you want to go.
Dreadful Death?
Oh, and we have to make sure the Gothmog and all the orcs don't bother us. And we can see Valinor. And maybe we could meet some of the Valar and the Maiar there. Oh my gosh. Let's see. There's Yavanna. There's Varda. There's, you would love Orome. He is literally the Lord of the Forests.
Okay.
And then there's Olmo. He's in charge of the sea, but he's this like dark and brooding kind of guy, but he's like soft on the inside, kind of like a Ron Swanson.
Wait. We haven't even left yet, and I'm already lost.
Oh, don't worry. I will slow down for the real thing, and I will be your guide.
Oh, okay. Whew. Okay.
And you know what? I'm here to help all of you through the wonderful works of the great J.R.R. Tolkien himself.
On this Sisters of the Shire podcast, we try to make understanding the books of Tolkien fun, exciting, hilarious, through easy-to-follow episodes.
I will slow down, I promise.
So come join me, Abby, as my amazing cousin co-host Ashley teaches us the tales of Middle Earth and beyond.
Join us, won't you?
At the Sisters of the Shire podcast. Find episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
Hope to see you there.
It's the Trivia Podcast where I ask you questions about stuff you might not even know, but you just might if you watch TV shows and movies. Hello and welcome to the TV and Movie Trivia Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Sheehan, and in this episode, I'll be asking questions from The Princess Bride. Our guests today are Abby and Ashley from the podcast Sisters of the Shire. Guys, welcome back.
Hello!
Thanks for having us.
We're so glad to be here.
Glad you're back after, we did Hobbit trivia and Peter Pan trivia?
Heck yes, we did.
Yes, and I have to say, I let my kids listen to the Peter Pan trivia. They're addicted now. They love your podcast. They want to listen to all like the Disney ones and stuff.
Oh, shucks.
But they were laughing so much. It was so fun to share that with them. So thank you for letting us do that.
Oh, that means a lot. I'm glad they enjoy it. I'm not used to hearing that.
Oh, well, you should. You deserve it.
Oh, wow. That means a lot. Well, I'm glad they're enjoying it. Do they have any suggestions of movies they would like covered?
We just finished watching all of the Shrek movies together. All 4 Shrek movies. That was pretty fun.
Okay.
That's a big universe. They've even got like the Puss in Boots ones. That was really funny.
Which I heard was excellent. I watched Shrek 2 for the first time last week and did not know it was going to be that good.
It's amazing.
It's so funny. I love it so much.
I remember seeing it at the drive-in.
Was this with kids at the time?
I was a kid.
No, this came out a while before.
Okay, kid in quotes. I'm not sure if I'll ever be an adult.
Gotcha. I mean, I get it. I saw the Lego Movie in theaters. I think I was the only adult there alone. But I haven't seen like any other movies. Like I haven't seen any Pixar movies in theaters in years.
What?
I have to amend that statement. I haven't seen a Pixar movie in years. It's not the type of movie like, oh, it's a Saturday night. Let me put on Lightyear, you know?
Well, no one wants to watch Lightyear. But,
no. Well, I think we go see every Disney Pixar movie that comes out, but I think the last one that I saw with out was when I was pregnant, before I even had my kids, but I went and saw Frozen and I took my sister with me because it's a sister movie. But then my husband snuck in last minute. He's like, "Can I watch it too?" And I was like, "Sure, let's go watch Frozen together."
You had Kristoff along.
Yeah.
Well, enough talking about other movies here. We're covering an awesome movie today that holds up so well, I think. But before we get too into it, do you guys have a favorite moment from The Princess Bride?
I actually have one that's my personal favorite, and then I've learned about a different scene that kind of struck me of like, oh, like it grew on me of that being a special scene as well. But
Sure.
My favorite scene, it's so little, it's so small, but it makes me laugh every time, is and I vowed to Ashley, I've told her this, that I want to bust into a room like this someday, is when the grandpa comes in and he's like, "Your grandpa's here and he's going to read you a book." And then he busts in that kid's room and he's like, "Hey," and he has like his arms open and he's like, "It's me, grandpa." I'm like, that is the best way to enter a room. And I want to enter a room like that someday. And I told Ashley that I want to do that as like, "Hey, it's me, Auntie Abby." Someday I'll do it. But that's my favorite part. I don't know why it makes me laugh every time. But I love Mandy Patinkin. He's those who don't know actor names, he's the character who plays Inigo Montoya.
Indigo.
And he's a very lovable person. Like, I don't know, I just love him as a person apart from the parts that he's played. But he was doing an interview about being Inigo Montoya, and he was talking about how when he was stabbing the guy at the very end, and he's like, "I want my father back," and he says that part. In the interview, he was saying that, and he, of course, is sobbing through this part of the interview, which it's so endearing, but he said that he really loved this character, and he chose this character because his own father had passed away from cancer, like earlier, I think. Ugh. I don't know if it was during filming or like right before filming, and he like carried that grief into that character because they were going through the same thing. And when he says that line, he says, "I wasn't saying it to the actor who was in front of me, I was saying it to the cancer that took him away." And I'm like, oh.
Wow. That hits you like a rock.
I know. And I was like, so that scene is also pretty special because it's like, you can tell that he's put a lot of his life into that one, and it's very special to him. So, and I love Mandy Patinkin, so that's also my favorite.
That scene definitely carries a different weight now.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I did not know that, but
yeah.
That's why this is a part trivia podcast. So
I got trivia of my own.
I appreciate that. Ashley, a favorite moment?
Well, I think we've talked about before how we used to have videos that we play in the car over and over again because we had a van that had a VCR. I'm that old. And there would only be like 10 movies in this van on road trips. And so we cycle through like those same 10 movies for like years for some reason. And so this was definitely one of them. And I remember rewinding over and over again when Vicini dies, when he's laughing, dying. Just like how he's thud. Like, I remember rewinding that over and over again. That actor is awesome. But I also love Fezzik when he goes, "Hello, lady," at the very end.
"Hello, lady."
I think part of the reason this movie holds up so well is that I think everything about it is charming.
Yes,
right?
Charming is an excellent word for it.
Again, these thugs, these villains, maybe other than Vizzini, were very charming. The miracle workers, the marriage guy.
Oh gosh,
the relationship between Buttercup and Wesley is everything is just so wholesome and fun about this movie, and it holds up.
Yes.
Seriously.
So, we have a car as well that plays movies in the back. DVDs now. We've upgraded.
They don't have to wait for the rewind.
And I was telling Brian beforehand that my children have been watching Princess Bride on loop. Like they'll just start it over after it finishes. And I've come to the conclusion, because this is a new thing for us to have a DVD player in the back, and I'm not watching the movie. I'm only hearing it. And I've come to the realization that I have a very low tolerance for movies that I cannot handle just listening to. But The Princess Bride, I can even just listen to it and I love it. Like there's nothing annoying or like I can just see the scenes playing out in my head while I'm listening to it. Like that's how much I love this movie. I don't even have to look at it. I can just hear it in the background and I love it so much.
Well, I'm going to test you on it now.
Oh.
But before we get started, to my current listeners out there, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you rate and subscribe and get some friends to do the same. You can also send in your own trivia, email the show, and sign up for my Patreon to get 4 sweet bonus episodes a month. But more on that after some trivia. Abby and Ashley, are you ready to go?
So ready.
Bring it.
All right, starting with the easy round with question number 1. What gift does the grandfather bring the grandson in the beginning? Question number 2. Every time Buttercup ordered Wesley around, what would be his reply? And part 2 of that, Buttercup eventually realized that every time Wesley said that, he meant what? Question number 3. What peril does Buttercup face when she jumps off the boat? Question number 4. What word does Vizzini keep saying that Inigo Montoya says he doesn't think it means what Vizzini thinks it means? Question number 5. What is the battle of wits the man in black has with Vizzini for the princess? Question number 6. What does the minister say to open the wedding ceremony? Question number 7. What is one of the few parts Wesley promises not to cut off of Prince Humperdinck? And question number 8. Who is Inigo Montoya after and why? And what will Montoya say to him when he finally finds him? Going back to question number 1. What is the gift the grandfather brings the grandson in the beginning?
The book.
A book.
A book?
No, you have to say like the grandson.
A book.
A book is correct.
One of those kissing books.
Yeah.
Like, how old is that kid and he knows what a kissing book is?
Okay, I didn't think about that.
Just saying.
I think watching the kid fall in love with it was also part of the charm of this movie.
Oh yeah,
I know.
The blanket's all bunched up.
Yeah.
When he's all nervous. He's concerned.
I'm just concerned.
Question number 2. Every time Buttercup ordered Wesley around, what would be his reply?
As
you
wish.
Very Gandalf-like delivery there.
I'm saying, no, it's him rolling down the hill.
Oh, down the hill.
As you wish.
I'm sorry. Absolutely correct. And part 2 of that, Buttercup eventually realized that every time Wesley said "as you wish," he meant what?
I love you. Okay, but
Yes.
Side note here, if you were being bossed around by this girl night and day, like I want to see my face shining in this saddle. I just love her when she bosses me. Like, what does that say about you as a person? You need to stand up for yourself, Wesley.
It does feel like minor Stockholm syndrome.
Yes.
Did you ever read the book, Brian?
I have not, no.
It's very good. I would highly suggest it.
Oh, good.
But there's this part where it's funny you say that, Ashley, because there's a part where she finally realizes that she loves him too. So she goes up to his room and knocks on the door and says, "I actually love you." And he just slams the door in her face, which is my favorite. Like,
I was just telling Brian about that.
Yep. Which at this point, it sounds like she deserved.
Yes.
I agree.
I did forget, though, there was a bonus point I could have given you earlier here. Going back to question number 1, the grandfather gets the grandson a book. Do you remember who the author of that book is?
S. Morgenstern.
That is absolutely correct.
Oh, yeah, he says it because he says it in his funny little, like, Morgenstern, like, Stern.
Yeah. That's why I had to say it funny, because I don't know how you actually say it, but I just say it like him. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah.
And I don't know, again, about the book, but do you guys know if that's the actual author of the actual book?
If you wait 2 seconds, it's in my daughter's room. I can go get it.
We can wait, I think.
But Brian, I highly suggest it. It's very, very good. And it's like it goes into a little bit more of each character, and it's
For sure.
It's really fun. I had to read it in middle school or high school, and I own 2 copies of it now.
Had to? You got to.
No, it was an assignment.
There's books you have to read in middle school. That is a privilege.
Interesting. This book as an assignment sounds interesting. I know some English teachers or English classes are notorious for assigning books that I think nobody wants to read ever.
Exactly my point.
This is very interesting. Ashley, were you able to find that book?
Oh, you said give it a second. Hold on.
Oh,
I was gonna say for the assignment for reading The Princess Bride, we had to do like a project about it, and it couldn't be like a paper, like a written paper. It had to be like something like an art kind of thing. So I made mix CDs of love songs that Wesley and Buttercup would give each other. And I still have them.
Do you remember any of the songs on those CDs?
I think I had the like song from the movie, the one that I love, but I cannot handle because the lyrics are so silly.
My love is like a storybook story.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And then my other favorite, I think, was Just Like Heaven from The Cure, which is one of my favorite songs ever. But yeah, I got to make like a boyfriend girlfriend trading love song mixes.
Surely Rick Astley's never going to give you up.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Ashley, is it by S. Morgenstern?
Okay, so on the cover it says William Goldman, but it says in the like few pages in, The Princess Bride, S. Morgenstern, I can't say that word, Morgenstern's classic tale of true love and high adventure, the quote-unquote good parts version, abridged by William Goldman.
Oh, all right.
Huh.
He helped out.
Interesting. Well, I guess moving on here to question number 3. What peril does Buttercup face when she jumps off the boat?
You hear that, princess?
I was going to do that too.
That's the shrieking eels. I love that they put the grandpa's voice over his face when he does that. Yeah. The shrieking eels.
You read that already.
The shrieking eels is correct. Question number 4. What word does Vizzini keep saying that Inigo Montoya says he doesn't think it means what Vizzini thinks it means?
Inconceivable.
I say that line. I try to say that line like, you keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. To my children who are still learning English, because sometimes they'll say words and I'm like, no, that's not what that is.
Not even close. Yeah. Yep.
And you say it in the accent?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay. For a bunch of points here, question number 5. What is the battle of wits the man in black has with Vizzini for the princess?
Iocane powder.
Iocane powder is absolutely correct for the bonus point there. I would accept a much more simpler answer as well.
A duel of poisons.
Which cup the poison is in?
Yes, the poisoned wine isn't what I was originally going for. Iocane powder is what it was poisoned with. I'll give you that third additional bonus point if you can tell us where Vizzini said that powder comes from.
Australia. Yes.
Which he, having known that Vizzini would know that, would mean he would put it in the opposite cup, and therefore he's not an idiot.
Yes.
I love his reasoning there. I'm like, okay, sure. Uh-huh. I'll go with that.
What on earth could that be?
Yeah. Although I always thought, like, when he says, you would have learned that man is mortal and you would have kept the poisonous fart. I always thought that it would be so funny if he was like, Wait, hold up. Wait, man, it's mortal? Oh, hold up. Let me jump these out. Let's try that again. Like,
Yeah.
hold on a second.
I didn't think I would die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a part 2 of that, though. When Vizzini and the Man in Black have a battle of wits, whose wine was poisoned?
Both of them.
Both of them.
They both were, and he had just spent years building up immunity.
I want to know what that looks like. Did he like pass out a few times or?
I know.
What's wrong with Wesley?
Are you microdosing on poison?
He was really bored on that ship, that pirate ship.
Question number 6. What does the minister say to open the wedding ceremony?
Marriage.
Brian, in the book, he has that speech impediment. So if you were to read the book out loud, you say those things. It's pretty good.
Like kind of W's as R's?
Yes.
Can you give us the next line too, just for funsies?
Marriage is what brings us together today.
Thank you very much for that.
Blessed arrangement.
Question number 7. What is one of the few parts Wesley promises to not cut off of Prince Humperdinck?
His ears. So you can hear the cries of children when they have to look upon his face or something like that.
Dear God, what is that thing?
Yeah.
Absolutely correct. I like how Wesley just beats him through intimidation.
Oh, yeah.
For the most part there.
While being paralyzed on a bed, like not being able to move.
But okay, do you think Farm Boy Wesley could have done that? I think it was all Dread Pirate Robert's teachings that taught him that.
Mm-hmm.
He learned a lot, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And he got that wispy mustache happening there. I'm not a fan. I want Farm Boy Wesley back.
And question number 8, one of the most memorable scenes of the movie. Who is Inigo Montoya after and why? And what will Montoya say to him when he finds him?
Get it, Abby.
So, the 6-fingered man.
Yes.
I'm looking for a man with 6 fingers on his right hand.
Whose actual name is?
Count Rogan.
Count Rugen is correct.
I just watched this really funny, like, improv comedy thing where they each had to deliver the line of Inigo Montoya saying this, but they had a different prompt. Like, one of them was like, you're talking to someone who doesn't speak English, like, or doesn't understand what you're saying. And he's like, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
That was not the delivery I was expecting. But you are absolutely correct. Guys, at the end of the easy round, you are 15 for 8 right now.
Woo!
Yes.
I have 7 medium questions next here for you, starting with question number 9. What makes the book The Princess Bride so special to this family? Question number 10. When Buttercup tells the Man in Black he can die as she pushes him down the hill, what does he say, and then what does she do? Question number 11. Where is Wesley captured and tortured, and what is the secret entrance? Question number 12. What is the torture device used there, and what does it do? Question number 13. When looking at a dead Wesley, what does the Miracle Man say Wesley's current condition is? Question number 14. What is the miracle pill coated with? And question number 15. Why does Wesley say the wedding never happened? And part 2 of that, when Wesley manages to get up from the bed and face Prince Humperdinck at the end, what does he say to him? Going back to question number 9. What makes the book The Princess Bride so special to this family?
Isn't it because, like, my father read it to me, his father read it to him, like it was like a passed down.
Now I'm going to read it to you.
Yeah, passed down thing.
Yes. Each person's father read it to their son when he was sick, and now the grandfather is reading it to him, which, of course, begs the question where his father is.
Yeah.
I wondered that, too.
You know, I think it's adorable that, or maybe that's his daughter. You know what I mean? Like, his mom is his daughter, so, like,
Oh,
He was just keeping the men reading it.
No, but he says, and I used to read it to your father.
Oh.
He does say that.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, okay. But I still think it's adorable that it's the men of the family that are reading this adorable
I agree.
romance fantasy
love story. Yeah.
Love story. It's so cute.
That is true. Question number 10. When Buttercup tells the man in black he can die as she pushes him down the hill, what does he say as he's falling? And then what does she do?
Abby, do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
As you wish.
Great effects in there.
Thank you.
I like it.
And then what does she do?
And then she throws herself down the hill.
That's the part I always used to rewind because I'm like, Buttercup, what you doing, girl? Why you throwing yourself down the hill? That makes no sense.
But I love her last little sound is oot. Oosh. It ends with a T. I'm like, of all the words, all the sounds.
I love how she's like,
That was an aggressive fall, and she just went for it.
Oh, went for it.
I know. She could have slid on her behind and just gone down, but she's like, no, I'm gonna fling my carcass off of this hill and just roll down as hard as I can.
Question number 11. Where is Wesley captured and tortured, and what is the secret entrance?
The pit of despair.
The pit of despair. It's the pits of despair.
Absolutely correct.
Okay, was I the only one growing up that thought that for a second that was a woman? Did anyone else have that?
A very scary woman.
It's been a while since I saw this as a kid, and I cannot remember what I thought about the albino.
Really thought it was a woman.
He's a very scary looking guy.
And the secret entrance?
Is a
secret knot.
Knot in a tree, right?
A secret knot in the tree is correct. Good for 2.
How did they make that? I always wanted to know.
I was thinking that too.
Interesting. It would have to be an entirely fake tree, right?
Yes, or hollowed out, or
it was very automated.
Mechanical inside. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did build a big machine down there.
And what was going to be in the wheelbarrow?
More bodies?
Because he couldn't have brought the wheelbarrow down the thing. It was a pretty narrow entrance.
Sure.
He just dumps them down.
Ashley, finding all these plot holes here.
I'm sorry. My motto for life is, but why? Just, but why?
Yeah.
Question number 12 for another 2 points. What is the torture device in the pit of despair, and what does it do?
I know what it does, but I cannot remember.
I think they just call it the machine.
The machine is what they call it.
Yeah. And it sucks years of your life away.
Yeah. Suction cups all over his body, and they just, took away years of his life, apparently.
I love how he delivers that line when he's like, how do you feel? Please, so be honest. How do you feel?
Interesting. Okay, another plot hole. So if they took away 50 years of his life, how many more years does he have with Buttercup? Now that they're going to live off happily ever after, he's going to die in 2 years.
Excuse me, he's called Miracle Max for a reason. So it's a miracle. So he's going to be fine. Okay, they're going to live a long and happy life together.
I was wondering the same thing. I assumed the 50 years straight out killed him, and that the miracle pill, I guess, reversed everything.
He respawned. He came back.
Came back with all of the hearts.
Full health.
He filled all of the hearts. He had a fairy.
Yeah.
Question number 13 for another 2 points. When looking at a dead Wesley, what does the miracle man say Wesley's current condition is?
Mostly dead.
Mostly dead.
Which also means...
half alive. Mostly alive.
Close?
Something alive.
Just a little.
Just
almost alive.
Slightly alive.
Oh, okay.
Slightly alive.
Billy Crystal's so hard to understand when he's in that. He goes so fast.
There was a couple things that you could definitely draw trivia from that scene.
Okay, so having watched it in the car without subtitles, because that VCRs didn't have subtitles like that back then, there's so many lines. I'm like, oh, that's what he said. Just now, watching it.
Yeah.
just like yesterday. That's what he said. When Inigo picks up, when Fezzik picks up Inigo when he's all drunk, he goes, "You really are a meanie." I never knew that's what he said. Mind blown.
Fezzik speaks thickly sometimes.
Yes.
For sure.
Like, oh.
Question number 14. What is the miracle pill coated with?
Chocolate coating makes it go down
easier. Okay, how is he supposed to swallow that? That thing is the size of like a giant egg.
Like a walnut, right?
Or like a Kinder egg or something.
An ice cube.
It's huge.
It was huge, for sure.
And I never understood what Inigo did with it that made that noise. And then he like puts it in his mouth. You know what I'm talking about, though?
I don't.
No?
I think so, yeah.
He like takes it out and he does this like weird thing and it makes that sound and then he puts it down his throat somehow. I'm like, what? Did he kiss it? Did he like lick it before? Or what?
Makes it go down extra smooth.
Makes it go down extra easier.
Yeah.
Span your saliva.
And question number 15. Part 1 here. Why does Wesley say the wedding never happened?
She didn't say I do.
Did you guys say I do? No.
They never said I do is what he says. And part 2 of that, when Wesley manages to get up from the bed and face Prince Humperdinck at the end, what does he say to him?
Drop your sword.
Gotta say, I think I might have gotten little shivers during that delivery there.
It's the coolest, like, camera angle, too. That's what I love about that scene.
With the music building up.
It's like straight down the sword. I love it.
It was an excellent scene.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the medium round here, you guys are 26 for 15 right now.
Woohoo!
Yes, we are.
I have 5 hard questions left. What did you just say? Did you say you're cheating?
I would say we're overachieving. I would never cheat, Brian. Oh my gosh.
Wow. I don't think I've ever had someone tell me they cheated.
No, I am offended.
That would have been a first. Okay.
We are overachieving.
Okay. Yes.
I would never cheat, Brian. I'm offended you would even suggest such a thing.
I take it back.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Starting with question number 16 here. How does Inigo Montoya tell Vizzini he plans to fight the man in black climbing the cliffs? Question number 17. When the man in black confronts Vizzini, Vizzini says there's nothing to explain since the man in black is trying to kidnap what Vizzini has rightfully what? Question number 18. Buttercup says she and Wesley will never survive the fire swamp. Why does he say nonsense? And part 2 of that, what are the 3 terrors of the fire swamp? Question number 19. The Miracle Man says true love is the greatest thing in the world, except for a nice what? And question number 20, a 3-parter. The grandson asks where the sports in the book are, and suspiciously asks, is this a what kind of book? Part 2. Why does the grandfather stop reading around the shrieking eels part to tell his grandson Buttercup doesn't get eaten? And part 3, when the grandson tells his grandfather, see, I told you she would never marry Humperdinck, in the dream sequence, what does his grandfather say? Going back to question number 16, how does Inigo Montoya tell Vizzini he plans to fight the man in black climbing the cliffs?
Can I start him left-handed?
Yes.
So someone would ride over too quickly.
Left-handed is correct. Gotta say, I was surprised that Wesley won that one.
Oh, yeah.
We have 20 years of experience here, and then absolutely less than 5.
Yes.
Yeah. 5 years on a boat.
But he had true love in his veins, Brian.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I totally understand. He should have lost.
He was a pirate. I'm sure that he did it a lot all day long.
Yeah, but, that's like the difference between like street fighting and technique, though.
Yeah.
Pure talent, maybe? I don't know.
All right. Question number 17. When the man in black confronts Vizzini, Vizzini says there's nothing to explain, since the man in black is trying to kidnap what Vizzini has rightfully what?
Stolen?
stolen is correct. It seems it was unfair of him to get so upset about that.
Like, how dare you?
I know. I stole this first.
I stole it first.
Jerk. Question number 18. Buttercup says she and Wesley will never survive the fire swamp. Why does he say nonsense?
Doesn't he say something about, like, it's cozy, or it's like, it's...
The trees are quite lovely.
He says it's not as bad as he thought it was.
It's not as bad as we thought it was.
This is before they enter the fire swamp. He says nonsense. You're only saying that because...
Oh, that part. Because no one ever has.
Because no one ever has.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Correct.
With you now. Sorry.
No worries, but on to part 2 here. What are the 3 terrors of the fire swamp?
Okay, so one was like the fire gurgle or something. Fire spurt I can't remember the word.
Spurts of flame.
The flame spurt.
Flame spurt. Okay.
The...
Lightning sand.
The lightning sand.
I was going to say quicksand, but it's lightning sand. And then the ROUSs.
And that's one I definitely needed subtitles for.
I don't think they exist.
Because I think she sounded out. I thought she said like ruses.
RUSs. She says it really fast.
The ROUSs.
Without subtitles, I would have never caught it. But the ROUSs is correct, which stands for
Rodents of unusual size.
Which I have to ask, who is that poor actor who has to be in that suit?
Like, and who did the voices?
Yeah. Couldn't tell you, but I thought they did an excellent job.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 19. The Miracle Man says true love is the greatest thing in the world, except for a nice what?
MLT.
Says an MLT, a mutton, lettuce, tomato. I'm like, but why not bacon? Is he like, do they not have bacon in that time period?
With a mutton is nice and lean, and the tomatoes are just right.
And question number 20, a 3-parter. Part 1 here. The grandson asks where the sports are in the book, and suspiciously asks, is this a what kind of book?
Is this a kissing book?
You have to say is this a kissing book?
With that sneer, kind of.
My kids do that now. Like, if I read them a book, they're like, is this a kissing book? I'm like, it's Goodnight Moon. Like, no, it's not.
Kissing book is correct. Part 2. Why does the grandfather stop reading around the shrieking eels part to tell his grandson Buttercup doesn't get eaten?
You looked a little nervous. And then his like little hands are like clenched up with his blanket. And then he's like, oh, okay. And just like smooths them down.
Which, I mean, you got to be a good narrator for your one who wasn't interested in at all in the beginning to be that concerned. You got to be a good narrator for that.
Sure.
I know. Cute.
Sure. He says his grandson looks nervous, but his grandson corrects him and says,
I was concerned. But that's not the same thing.
Concern is correct. There is one last part here, part 3. When the grandson tells his grandfather, see, I told you she would never marry Humperdinck. After the dream sequence, what does his grandfather say?
Yeah, you're very smart. Shut up.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Because, watching that now, though, that's such 90s, 80s television, though. Like, you couldn't say that nowadays. You couldn't do that. It's so amazing. I love it.
I know.
But you're absolutely correct. You guys are ending trivia with a 37 out of 20. Congratulations.
We did it, Ashley. We're champions. Yeah. We're still waiting for our 3rd time around trophy of being overachievers.
Yes. Overachievers, not cheaters.
Right. That will be probably coming shortly. I guess for this time, it'll probably be... I'm trying to think of something from the movie, but I'm completely blanking. Maybe a miracle pill?
Yes.
Or a miracle pill. I'll take a miracle pill.
A miracle from Miracle Max.
A miracle pill. It definitely won't be a jelly bean. But before we get started with this bonus episode, would you guys like to plug your stuff?
Sure. We are the Sisters of the Shire Podcast. I'm Abby, and my co-host is my cousin Ashley.
Hello.
And we come together and talk about the works of Tolkien. We have just finished the Silmarillion and the extended, what is that called? After chapters.
Sections.
Of the Silmarillion. Sections. And we are currently doing trivia of our own right now with friends and family who are coming on to do some Tolkien trivia. And then after that, we are going to be doing more works from Tolkien, which it's still up in the air of which ones we're going to start with. But we started this podcast to help people fully grasp and understand Tolkien in a way that was fun, funny, easy to understand. We are family friendly, so you can share us with anyone in your life. We just had a guest on our podcast earlier today who told us that he was starting to read the Silmarillion and he was getting pretty lost and he was looking for someone to share that experience with. So he was excited to find our podcast because he felt like he was in a book club of fun people, and that was an awesome review, I thought. So
exactly what we were going for.
If that's what you need, is a fun kind of friends get together book club about the works of Tolkien, we are here for you at Sisters of the Shire Podcast.
And links to all their stuff are in the show notes, so be sure to check them out there. We are about to record a bonus episode, so if you'd like to check that out, you can listen to all the bonus episodes on Patreon for just $2 a month. Head on over to iTunes to drop a rating and tell someone you know about the show. It would really mean a lot. Lastly, if you have questions of your own or answers to any of mine, feel free to email me at tvtriviapod@gmail.com or reach out on any of the socials at tvtriviapod. Ashley and Abby, you killed it. I'm excited to see how you do in this bonus episode.
Yes.
Thank you for having us, as always.
I'm so excited.
So excited.
Of course. Listeners, thank you, and stay tuned for more trivia.